Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in today. My name is Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan. I am coming to you live from the campus of Weymouth High School in Weymouth, Massachusetts. Here to bring you live coverage of today's high school varsity boys lacrosse contest between the hosting Weymouth High Wildcats and the visiting Brookline High Warriors. And a hello again to anyone coming over from our live stream of today's JV contest that just finished up. Weymouth getting the narrow 3-2 victory over Brookline in the JV game. And both teams are going to be desperate to win this varsity game, as today it is the battle of the winless squads. Brookline coming into this game at 0-7, Weymouth coming in at 0-9. Both teams have had a tough time at the start of this season, but at the end of this game, somebody is going to have their first win of the year. The only question is whether it will be Brookline or Weymouth. These two teams faced off last year in the season opener in Brookline on March 28th, 2024. Weymouth defeating Brookline handily that last year, 16-9, but this is a very different Weymouth squad from last year. Last year, the Wildcats went 9-9 on the season to finish 22nd in the power rankings in MIAA Division I, and they ended up losing to number 11 St. John's in the round of 32, 15-2. Brookline last year finished 3-15, finished 31st in the power rankings, defeated Malden in the play-in round, the 34th seeded Malden in the play-in round 14-4 before losing to number 2 Lincoln Sudbury 18-0 in the round of 32. So certainly for Weymouth, a very different team record-wise. They've already matched their loss total from last year. And so this is going to be a high-profile matchup. Should be a lot of, sometimes, but, you know, just sometimes cuts out randomly, and I need to log back in real quick. But we should be good now. Like I was saying, shout out to our local sponsor for today. You can see their logo in the bottom center of your screen, Esh Dental. Esh Dental is located right in Coolidge Corner in Brookline. Book your next dental appointment with local dentist and BHS sports parent Dr. Brandon Esh for the non-corporate, personalized dentistry our community deserves. Call 617-566-0103 or go online to eshdental.com to find out more and book your appointment. Once again, 617-566-0103 or go online to eashdental.com. That link and phone number can also be found in the description section down below. A little less than 2 minutes on the pregame clock, and I'm happy to see we've already got some fans active in the live chat today. First is a guy who I covered here in Weymouth just yesterday on the baseball diamond, helping the Warriors to get a comeback 6-5 victory on the baseball field against the Weymouth Wildcats. Felix Hom in the live chat saying, "Let's get it, boys." And then Reagan Wilson in the live chat saying, "Rooting for Ryan Wilson from Berlin. Go Brookline." Thank you so much for tuning in, everyone. And I hope you enjoy the live stream. Not going to have enough time to read out the rosters. There's only a minute left before we get this one started. I might try and, yeah, I don't think I'm going to have enough time for that. But I will say that as we've already seen, I highly encourage audience participation in the live chat. You know, it could be as simple as, you know, go Brookline or even go Weymouth if there are Weymouth fans tuning in. You know, we don't care who you're rooting for. We appreciate fans bringing the good vibes in the live chat. And as we've already seen, you can give a shout out to a specific player if you're tuning in to watch a family member or a friend. And you can let us know where you're tuning in from, because sometimes we have folks tuning in all the way from Berlin, and that can be really fun to hear about. Add an extra flavor of fun to this broadcast, because we're all about fun here when covering Brookline High sports. But then, of course, some more serious reasons to participate in the live chat. Of course, if you notice any technical difficulties with the live stream, whether it be with the audio or the video, I want to hear from you if you notice anything like that, because I want to make this the best quality broadcast I possibly can. And on that same note, if I am messing up the pronunciation of any names of any of the players, I encourage you to let me know. Again, in the live chat, I want to do these boys the honor of getting their names correctly. And you guys can help me with that if I'm messing anything up. So the team's lining up here, getting ready to get us started. And one more note I would like to say is that if you're not able to access the live chat here on YouTube, or you're not comfortable using it for whatever reason, you can also send me whatever messages you may have through email. You can see my email there in the bottom right corner of your screen. You can send me a message there. I actually just got a message from one of the JV fans, from Jennifer Anders Katz, saying thank you for commentating the JV game. You did a great job, from a JV parent. Jennifer, thank you so much. And if you're, especially if you're still watching here in the varsity live stream, as I'm sure we might have some folks who wanted to tune into both, as we get ready for the opening face-off here for Brookline. Their face-off specialist, Jonathan Diaz, lining up in the face-off circle as we get ready to get this one underway here in the first of 4 12-minute quarters. This loose ball flies high in the air, still flying down, and it's picked up by number 1, Aaron McDonald for Weymouth. Fakes a pass, cuts across right in front, and scores immediately. Number 1, Aaron McDonald, strikes with speed here to start this one. And just like that, Weymouth up 1-0, 17 seconds into the game. Here on this face-off, battle for the ball. Several players in the pile of bodies there. And it's ultimately picked up by number 8, Jacob Fernandez for the Wildcats. Fernandez brings it into touch and passes back out as Weymouth now gets set up on offense. McDonald, the pass misses his target, but it's taken off the bounce, and a shot walled by the Brookline goalie, Dylan Katz, attempted by number 3, Chris Mullen. Max Delaney trying to pick up the ball, but Mullen, staying on the pressure, knocks it loose and picks it back up. Mullen, pass up top. Holding the ball there, number 9, Nolan Daly. Daly passed it along the back to number 20, Desmond Wilkins. Wilkins coming around the back, flips a pass, misses, intended for Mullen. Mullen being chased by Katz, hits him from behind and picks up the ball. Risky play for the goalie to come out that far, but Dylan Katz, decisive and physical in that play, but he's hit on the attempted pass that time Loose ball being fought for, and it's picked up by number 1, Craig Haas, as he gets a long pass up to Ryan Wilson, as now Brookline gets to go on the attack. Wilson lost the ball, though. Picked up by the Weymouth defense. Manny Tolkoff applying pressure, knocks it loose, and takes it back. Tolkoff from behind the net, coming around. Throws it to the top to number 44, Corey Toe, who gives it over to number 23, Jacob Fish. Fish flips it, juggled a bit, but picked up by number 24, Leo Torres. Torres pass along the back to Wilson. Wilson fakes, speeding out of the back, try to pass, and it's blocked. Pass blocked by number 17, John Brainard. Still battling for the loose ball. Wilson gets it. Wilson setting up in the corner there, passes it out to Toe. Toe over to Fish. Fish starting his approach. Pass was blocked. And it's picked up by number 8, Fernandez. Fernandez running all the way across, winds, fires, no good, as that one bounces high and wide of the net. Weymouth keeps possession as Wilkins pass it out to, I think, McDonald. McDonald from behind the net. Coming around the back, trying to spin, gets around the defender. Shot is walled again. Another nice point-blank save by Dylan Katz. Katz looking for an outlet. Throws a long pass to midfield, just misses James Carr. And it's picked up by Weymouth once again. Pass up, finds Mullen. Mullen up to McDonald. Still 1-0 the Weymouth advantage here. McDonald along the back. Just over 8 minutes left in the first. McDonald comes around and scores. Aaron McDonald with his second goal of the day from a similar spot from that right side of the attack area. Again, using his speed to generate those openings. Although this time he scores from a greater distance. Weymouth now up 2-0. Back in the face-off circle, 8:06 to go as Diaz wins the face-off this time. Pass misses. Pass intended for Torres. And a tough Brookline turnover after they get their first face-off win. Fernandez with the ball gives it over to the Weymouth netminder, number 29, Dermot O'Connell, as they work it all the way across number 25, Anthony Holbrook. Now this is Wilkins. Wilkins behind the net, coming out of the back. Shot was walled off by Katz. Another shot is blocked by the body of a defender. I don't think Katz was even ready for that second shot, but a great block by number 2, Benji Keegan-McGlynn. Long pass finds Torres. Torres trying to get around his defender, gets around, weaves, shoots, misses wide. Wilson back there to keep it with Brookline. But some great efforts by some of the long stick guys along the defensive line there to prevent a potential score. Wilson from behind the net. Backing down, pushed off by his defender. On the second attempt, escapes his defender, comes out the back, help arrives. Wilson still with the ball, escapes the sandwich and scores! Ryan Wilson looked like he was going to get swallowed by the defenders on that play. But you can't count out the toughness of the senior co-captain as he just keeps with the ball. That secondary push actually helped to get him loose from his entanglement with the primary defender there. And Wilson with the physical fortitude to keep his footing and keep the ball and then make the shot. 2-1 now as Diaz wins another face-off, gets stood up but keeps the ball, now brings it into the attack area. Diaz charging in with it, goes behind the net, looking for a passing option, throws it back to Manny Tolkoff. Tolkoff throws it up top to Toe. Toe backtracking as Brookline waiting to sub in their extra attacker in for their face-off specialist, Diaz. They bring in Jacob Fish, and now Toe starts his approach. Toe, nowhere to go there. Flips it over to Fish. Fish throws it up to Tolkoff. Tolkoff looking, gives to Toe. Now over to James Carr. Carr coming off his defender, his shot wide of the net. Brookline back there to keep possession. 2-1, Weymouth leads. 5.5 to go here in the first. Wilson pass, finds his target, and James Carr finds the back of the net. Boy, what a beautiful pass by Ryan Wilson, who is off to a great start today. He threw this one, and I was like, where is he throwing that? He's throwing it right into a sea of bodies. But that's why they're down on the field, and I'm up here in the stands just watching. They know what they're doing. Beautiful assist there, and a great finish at the net by James Carr for his first goal of the day. All knotted up at 2 apiece. Off the face-off. Won again by Diaz. Diaz throws it ahead to Tolkoff. Brookline lost the first 2 face-offs of the game and fell behind 2-0. Now they've won 3 straight. Great turnaround by Jonathan Diaz in the circle to give Brookline more offensive opportunities. Tolkoff with the ball. Throws up top to Torres. Torres approaching, gets around his defender, fires a shot, walled off, rebound picked up, reverse shot from Fish, sails high. Got just a little too fancy there as he didn't have the angle for a normal shot, but Ryan Wilson back there to keep possession for the Warriors. Wilson gets off his defender, tries to fit it through, cannot. Too many bodies in there, but the loose ball picked up by Tolkoff. His pass back barely complete to Carr, who winds, fires, saved. Just short of the goal line. It's walled off by O'Connell. Dermot O'Connell with a big save there to keep us tied. Now this is McDonald with the ball for Weymouth. He's got 2 goals already today for the Wildcats. Passes it back to, I believe, number 19, Nevin Roach. Roach trying to evade his defender. Staying with him is number 4, David Kim. Roach gets pass away, a shot saved by Dylan Katz off the shot from Mullen, but they stay with it. Another save by Dylan Katz off the attempted shot from Wilkins. Now a scrum for the loose ball here, picked up by Weymouth. Pass gets over to Daly. Nolan Daly trying to get off his defender, long shot, and another save by Dylan Katz. The Brookline netminder off to a strong start. He's got a number of saves. Floats the pass up to Corey Toe. Toe running up with it. Pass to Carr. Carr juggled the pass and has to knock it back to Toe, who gets tripped up, but it's picked up by Ryan Wilson. Wilson charging in. Wilson floats it. Oh, just missed Torres, and that's going to bounce out of bounds. Wilson tried to go for an underhanded pass while weaving through traffic. No dice that time. Just over 3 minutes to go. O'Connell with the ball for Weymouth. Flips pass over, juggled a bit, but picked up by number 17, Brainard. Brainard throws it up to McDonald. McDonald sprinting in with it. Extra pass sails over the outstretched stick of Mullen. And Brookline takes over on the turnover. 2:44 on the clock here in the first, all knotted up at 2 apiece. Still in Katz. Spinning away from Wilkins, throws pass, finds Fish. Fish trying to run away from the defensive pressure, gets across midfield. And a timeout is called by Brookline. I think head coach Dan Gardner might have seen that his team didn't have much of an angle to get the ball into touch there and avoid the clock violation, which would have given it back to Weymouth. I like the timing of the timeout there. We got some more notes in the live chat here. Jonathan Olson saying, "Let's go, Brookline, you got this," and also saying, "Nice score, captain," off that first goal by Ryan Wilson. And then Mike Seksinski saying, "Nice save, Katz," which could have referred to any number of saves that Dylan Katz has had here in the first quarter. And then later he says one-timer, referring to the goal by James Carr off the long pass from Wilson. And then we got I actually got a note in my email here saying, "Go Warriors, watching Dylan Katz from Cabo, from Grams and Mom." So we've got Berlin and we've got Cabo represented here in the live chat today. Love to see it, love to see it. .225 on the clock here in the first. Out of the timeout, Brookline will have a little bit more of an opening to properly get their offense set. Brought into touch by James Carr. Got tangled up with his defender there, and so he retreats and resets. Starts another approach, trying to muscle his way through, nowhere to go. Passes it into the corner to Torres. Along the back, Wilson. Wilson's long pass misses. Tolkoff bounces out of bounds. Bad turnover for the Warriors there. As with 2 minutes to go here in the quarter, Weymouth will take it back. McDonald running with it for Weymouth. We know he's got speed. Brings it into the attack area. Retreats back a little bit after bringing the ball into touch. Now starts his approach. Shot missed wide. Didn't have as clean a look there as the long stick defender Craig Haas was staying with him and at least keeping his stick on his body to just disrupt him as much as he could, even if he couldn't keep up with his speed. Out of the back, Wilkins, pass out McDonald, juggled the ball but recovered. Pass inside, turnaround shot missed wide from Ronan Quill, number 7. Out the back, Wilkins there to keep possession with Weymouth. Wilkins coming out the back, try to fit through traffic. Loose ball knocked away. And that's going to be Brookline ball as Dylan Katz putting on the motor there to race down to the sideline to give Brookline possession. As I guess they ruled that one technically a shot. Now Max Delaney, number 8, with the ball. Delaney decides to go around his defender first. Gets some separation. Now flips a pass, gets it to David Kim. Kim running up with it. Hard collision, lost the ball. And another hard collision knocks it free. And it couldn't be caught out of the air. And they're still fighting for it. Nobody can quite pick it up, and we've got a whistle. Might have gone over the sideline there. And it looks like it'll be Brookline ball. Maybe it was a delayed penalty call. Yeah, delayed penalty call against the hit on Kim. It was a very hard hit, and I guess they were just waiting to see who recovered the loose ball. And then when nobody recovered it after several seconds, they just decided to finally blow the play dead. 40 seconds. Brookline will have the man-up advantage after number 21, Sonny Canova, will serve the penalty for that hit. Fish throws it along the back to Wilson. Back out Tolkoff. Over to Kim at the top. Kim's pass disrupted and taken away by the Wildcats. Running with it now, number 5, Colin Nealon. Nealon past McDonald. Wines fires, saved again by Cats. Fighting for it, Wilkins recovers, tries another shot, blocked by the defense. Rebound recovered by Delaney. Tries to pass back, but it's blocked by McDonald. McDonald picks it up. The net is empty. McDonald looking. No passing options, and time runs out. An exciting first quarter, to be sure. Our score at the end of 1, Brookline 2, Weymouth 2. Brookline being led offensively by 1 goal and 1 assist from Ryan Wilson and 1 goal from James Carr. As you see their connection there for the equalizer goal. The last goal scored in the first frame. For Weymouth, both goals coming from number 1, Aaron McDonald. During this break between the first and second quarter, I'd like to once again thank our local sponsor for today, Esch Dental. Do you have a tooth that just doesn't look right in photos? Too far out, too far back, or maybe one that prevents you from showing that smile at all? The team at Esch Dental has everything you need to get that smile perfectly aligned. Their average Invisalign case lasts about 9 months, and the treatment is practically invisible compared to metal braces. Adults and teens alike get their teeth straightened and their bites aligned with Esch Dental. Call 617-566-0103 or go online to eschdental.com to find out more and book your appointment. Once again, 617-566-0103 or go online to easchdental.com. And of course, all that information in the description section down below. Back in the face-off circle for the start of the second quarter. It's won by Jonathan Diaz. Diaz pass misses Torres. This has been a big problem for Brookline, even going back to the JV game. Just they struggle connecting on their passes. And it just creates a lot of unnecessary turnovers. That gives them fewer chances to score. Dermot O'Connell. Long pass taken off the bounce by Nolan Daly for the Wildcats. Brings it into touch. Waving around the defense. Ball, I think, might have been knocked slightly free there, but it was recovered by Daly. Pass to the back. I think that's number 19, Nevin Roach. Roach coming out the back, looking low shot, saved again by Cats. Loose ball picked up by Ronan Quill. Pass over to McDonald. McDonald waving around, looking, fakes, weaves, charging in, shot blocked. I think that was Max Delaney who got his stick on it there to disrupt the shot. Weymouth able to get to the sideline to keep possession. Roach with the ball. Roach jukes out his defender, charging in. Shot saved again by Katz. Off the low bouncer there. Katz floats it up to Haas. Haas back to Katz. Katz running up with it now. He's got some room. Runs it across midfield. Pass up to Wilson. Wilson into touch. Runs down the left side. Goes behind the net. Trying to spin off his defender. Now jukes. Pass out. Finds Tolkov, whose shot missed. They had the catch and shoot again for the one-timer for Manny Tolkov this time. Pass maybe a little bit higher than could have been ideally. And Tolkov just unable to get the shot off clean. Leo Torres coming out of the back. Pass it out to Tolkov. Tolkov's pass dropped but picked up by James Carr. Throws it to Tolkov. Tolkov spins. Long shot blocked by O'Connell there. Got the stick end of it there. Long pass there is going to bounce out of bounds. And that'll be Brookline ball. Carr throws it up to Tolkov and back out to Carr as they've safely gone into touch with that pass. Carr trying to fend off his defender, goes tumbling and draws a flag. You know, at first I thought it was a bit of the foul there. Apologies for the brief disconnection. We got a stoppage here. I think a timeout might have been called. So Brookline, again, the key here is just executing on their passes, executing on their sequences here. Because we've seen when their passes work, they get some golden looks. I mean, that long pass from Wilson to Carr was beautiful. But you can see how much precision it takes sometimes when passing through traffic. You know, we saw that attempted one-timer from Wilson to Tolkov, just a little bit high, and so Tolkov just, you know, couldn't quite get the shot off in the way that he exactly wanted. And so it came out of his pocket wrong and just ended up flying wide. 9 minutes and 14 seconds still on the clock here in the second quarter, still very early in this quarter. Neither team has scored in this second frame just yet. It took just 17 seconds for the first goal of the first quarter. But now the defense is clamping down a little bit more. Brookline now at the man-up advantage as once again Sonny Canova serving the penalty for the Wildcats. Up top, David Kim over to Tolkov. To the back to Wilson, across to Fish. Fish out to Torres. Torres decides to go back down to Fish. Fish over to Wilson. Wilson, long pass, connects with Kim. Kim over to Tolkov, down to Wilson. Cross to Fish, out to Torres, and back to Kim. Quick passing from Brookline as they go inside to Carr, but too much traffic. Loose ball being fought for, bouncing around. And it's picked up by Torres. So Brookline recovers after their failed pass inside there, and they go back to work. Pass inside, connects, but Carr is walled off by the defense. Loose ball picked up. Wait, it's picked up by Carr. Where was the ball? That was so weird. Number 25, Anthony Holbrook, was running with his stick as if he had the ball. I think he dropped it and didn't realize he had dropped it, and nobody realized that he had dropped it, and so the ball just kind of died on the grass for a bit. We got another whistle, as I think that might have been a penalty against Brookline. We'll see when we come out of the stoppage here. 8 minutes, 8 seconds on the clock. But boy, we've had so many wild sequences already today. A big-time block from Anthony Holbrook that time, as Brookline had actually found Carr on the pass. Looked like he was going to get his second goal. But the defender staying in front of the attacker to make sure he was in position to make that block. And wind up and a long pass from Fernandez across to Brainard, who throws it ahead. Weymouth brings it in touch. Pass back misses. Tolkoff waiting for it. Needs to cross midfield, and it does. Tolkoff picks it up. Bounces off some defenders and runs it into touch. Torres now with it as Brookline gets set up on offense. Torres running in. Shot goes off the crossbar. The bounce shot from Leo Torres so close to going in, but it clangs off the crossbar and Weymouth takes it back. O'Connell gives to Holbrook. Holbrook's pass disrupted by Tolkoff, and it flies out of bounds. Brookline takes the ball on the far side. Torres. Pass over to Carr. Carr starts his approach. Carr, shot is in! James Carr with his second goal of the day gives Brookline their first lead of the game. And you can see just very simple walks up. Doesn't get too much of an opening, but just enough that he launches that long shot top shelf. And now Brookline up 3-2. Brookline with 3 unanswered goals after falling behind 2-0 early in the game. And Jonathan Diaz with another big face-off win, but sails the pass too high for Wilson, and it's going to be taken back by Weymouth on the turnover. You know, the errant pass aside, Diaz's turnaround on the face-offs has really paralleled Brookline's turnaround on the score sheet. Diaz lost the first 2 face-offs of the game, but then won the next 4 as that pass disrupted. Great play there by Noah Olsen to knock that pass down, picked up by Craig Haas. Haas lost the ball there, knocked loose by Wilkins. Wilkins charging in, pass across, misses, intended for Roach. Roach recovers the loose ball and sets up on offense. Roach awaiting some reinforcements. Now throws it over to Daly. Pass around. Wilkins gives to McDonald. McDonald trying to spin. No opening as the help arrives. Pass through traffic. Ball's loose, and it's picked up by David Kim. Kim with the long stick. He runs it in transition. It's knocked loose by Daly. Loose ball picked up by Carr as he comes in off the bench. Carr runs it across. Pass up misses. Tolkoff. Ball still playable inbounds. Scooped up by Wilson. Ran out of room. Jonathan Olson in the live chat saying Carr on fire and nice job, Noah, referring to that nice defensive deflection earlier. Long pass from Holbrook, complete to Brainard. Brainard gets pass up to McDonald. McDonald brings it into touch. And now passes back to Roach as Weymouth sets up. Gives it over to Daly. Pass along that right side. Wilkins. Wilkins trying to weave. Shoot saved by Katz. What a day he's having. Katz recovers the loose ball himself. Pass up complete, finds number 16, Billy Bamberg. Bamberg putting on the Jets. Bamberg running down the right side, runs behind the net and gives to Wilson. Bamberg with a nice transition play, and he runs to the bench so that one of the offensive specialists can come in. Wilson flips it back to Tolkoff. Now up to Toe. Over to Carr. Carr with 2 goals already, starts his approach. Help defense arrives, but backs off as Carr comes around, floats it to the back to Wilson. Wilson spins, passes out, misses Torres, and that's going to bounce out of bounds. Might have rushed the pass just a smidge there. As again, Brookline misses the connection and loses possession. Pass goes back to O'Connell. Long throw up to Fernandez. Fernandez spins. Pass up Roach. Roach weaves. Looking around. Awaiting some reinforcements as Quill comes in. Roach throws it down the right side to Wilkins. Wilkins from the back, coming around, pass misses. Those running passes, both teams struggling with them a bit as the loose ball chased down by Quill. He gives it back to Roach. Roach weaving. Looking, shot saved again by Katz. Katz taking off, running with it. He's going to run it across midfield. Now floats pass across to Tolkoff. They still have to get it into touch. Tolkoff throws it up to Fish, who gets it in the attack end. Pass up to Wilson behind the net. Now Brookline gets properly set on offense. Wilson working against Brainard. Spins. Looking. No options. And throws it up top to Fish. Fish slowing things down. Now running down the left side behind the net. Covered by number 24, Owen Halpenny. Fish, Jukes, coming out the back, looking for a pass, not there. Pass out to Tolkoff. Now over to Toe. Toe approaching, Help arrives. He spins, fights his way through, taken to the ground, lost the ball. Oh, Brainard failed to pick it up, but now he picks it up. Being pursued by the Brookline defense. And I think Brainard actually stepped out of bounds. Good defense from Wilson and Torres to force him out of bounds there. Torres now with the ball as Brookline takes it back. Throws to the back to Wilson. Brookline looking to get a multi-goal lead here. Tolkoff. Jump shot saved. Dermot O'Connell with the easy save there from distance, as both teams have gotten some good looks, but a lot of long, low percentage looks as well. Long pass finds Wilkins. Wilkins racing around his defender. Shot is high. Wilkins had that look wide open. He had Katz fooled. Katz went low with his stick as Wilkins went high with his shot, but he sails it over the crossbar. Still on offense. Roach pass up, a shot goes off the post. McDonald trying to shoot that one. And there the horn sounds for the end of the second quarter, and we go into halftime. Just one goal in that second quarter as James Carr, with his second goal of the day, gives Brookline the 3-2 lead at the break. During this halftime break, I would like to take a moment to once again thank our sponsor for today, Esch Dental. Do you have a tooth that's been worked on once, twice, 3 times, and it's still giving you problems? Have you been told it's time to give up the fight on that tooth and have it extracted? Hey, it happens to a lot of us. Dr. Esch performs a multitude of procedures to get that infected tooth out and an implant in. All of Dr. Esch's implants are actually digitally guided, which means the surgery takes place on a digital model of your jaw even before your appointment. Digital implant placement is the safest, fastest, most predictable way to turn that problem tooth into a fixed and beautiful solution. Call 617-566-0103 or go online to eschdental.com to find out more and book your appointment. Once again, 617-566-0103 or go online to eashdental.com. And once again, you can find that link and phone number in the description down below. You can also find in the description section a link to the official Venmo account of the Friends of Brookline Lacrosse Booster Club if you would like to show your support for Brookline Lacrosse monetarily. And below that, you can also find a link and phone number for our local charity spotlight for today, the Brookline Education Foundation. The Brookline Education Foundation raises funds to help promote growth and innovation among Brookline educators, growth that can then be passed on to the children of this community. For over 40 years, this foundation has given out a variety of grants across the educational landscape. These include Ideal Lab grants that for teachers that want to present their students with new and exciting projects, and teacher grants for educators that want to take on new training and further develop their own skills to bring to the classroom. Many initiatives which have become staples in the public schools of Brookline started as BEF grants. They support literacy education training, new methods in STEM education, project-based learning, mentoring of new principals and superintendents, and collaborative work around diversity, equity, and inclusion, just to name a few. Visit brooklinefoundation.org or call 617-232-3846 to find out how you can help support our town's educators and, through them, our students. Once again, that's brooklinefoundation.org or call 617-232-3846. And again, all of those links and phone numbers can be found in the description section down below. All right, here we go. The two teams back on the field for the third quarter of play. Brookline with a slim 3-2 advantage over Weymouth as a false start is called against Brookline on that face-off. And Weymouth takes the first offensive possession of the game. Long pass completes to Aaron McDonald. McDonald racing across. He scored 2 goals early in the first quarter, including one just 17 seconds into the game. But since then, the Weymouth offense has gone completely quiet, thanks in part to a strong effort in net from Dylan Katz. Ball is flipped to Nolan Daly. Gives it back to Nevin Roach. Roach approaching. Shot. That one's in. Boy, it was hard to tell for a second where that one landed, but it ultimately lands in the net. Off the bounce shot from Nevin Roach. And just like the first half, Weymouth starts with an early goal here in the second half, this time 50 seconds into the game, or into the half, I should say. All knotted up at 3 apiece as we go back to the face-off circle. And the face-off results in a whistle, and it's going to go to Brookline. I'm not sure what the violation was against Weymouth. Maybe it was the hard hit when Diaz was trying to pick up the ball, or maybe it was that maybe it was that Ronan Quill took a swipe at the ball instead of trying to pick it up. Either way, Brookline with the ball as James Carr brings it into touch. Carr has scored twice so far today as he gives it back to Leo Torres. Torres charging down the right side, throws it behind the net to Ryan Wilson. Wilson passed back to Torres. Wilson with 1 goal and 1 assist in the first half. Torres throws it back to Fish. Over to Toe. Corey Toe looking around, throws it down the left side to Manny Tolkoff. Now back to Wilson. Over to Torres. Back up top to Jacob Fish. Fish, pass to Tolkoff. Tolkoff to the back. Wilson. Wilson looking. Weaves, comes out the back. Pass out. Torres, shot, saved. Saved there by Dermot O'Connell. Rebound collected by Wilson. Wilson throws it out to Tolkoff. Up top to Toe. Toe starts his approach. Toe being chased by a couple defenders, throws it behind the net to Wilson. Wilson throws it inside to Carr, and it goes off the post after it kind of bounced off Carr's stick there. Weymouth taking it the other way, but they sail a long pass, and that's going to go out of bounds and be Brookline ball. Katz floats pass up, taken off the bounce by David Kim. Throws it across, finds Torres. Torres approaching. Torres bringing it around the back. Torres speeding out of the back. Sails the pass intended for Tolkoff. And off the bounces, it's picked up by Weymouth. Running up with it, and a shot missed wide. Attempted by Desmond Wilkins. And Dylan Katz races back to give Brookline possession off the out-of-bounds shot there. Katz walking up with it. Now slings a long pass, misses Tolkoff. Ball still in bounds. And now it rolls out as Brainard kind of boxed out Tolkoff on his attempt to keep that one in bounds. taken now by the Wildcats. They move up that far side. Anthony Holbrook bringing it into touch here. Pass along that right side to Wilkins. Wilkins looking, pass, shot from Quill, sails. That'll be out of bounds. It'll stay with Weymouth. Ronan Quill caught that pass and fired the Lacrosse equivalent of a slap shot, but would not go for him. Now tries a turnaround wrister there, and no dice. Misses it wide, and this time no teammates in the vicinity to help recover that ball. Now Brookline moving up with it. Fish absorbs the blow there from the defense. Brings it into touch for Brookline. His pass disrupted. Wilson keeping track of it though. Picks it up behind the net. Wilson trying to weave around his defender. Spinning a couple times now. Throws a pass and misses again. And we got a flag. Get a flag thrown against Weymouth here, so Brookline catches a bit of a break here. This will be Brookline ball here. As it'll be Anthony Holbrook serving the penalty. David Kim walking up with it, pass ahead to Tolkoff. Tolkoff to Wilson, now to Fish. Back to Wilson, back out Tolkoff, quick shot missed wide. Brookline there to recover it. We're still tied at 3 apiece with about 6:40 on the clock here in the third. Wilson back out to Tolkoff, up top Kim. Kim over to Torres, to Fish, to Wilson, out to Tolkoff. Back down to Wilson. That pass misses, but it's chased down by Wilson. Weymouth crowding the box there near the goal as Tolkoff gets hit, lost the ball. Scramble for the loose ball. Who's got it? Torres got it. Torres walking up, passes down to Fish. Fish pass blocked there. And loose ball still being fought for. And Fish had it for a second, knocked loose. They're still fighting for it, and a whistle is blown. And it might have been a call against Weymouth for knocking over Fish there. So Brookline ball. Wilson pass misses. Tolkoff was trying to go for another jump shot there, but no dice. Knocked loose by Tolkoff. Recovered by Toe. Spins. Pass ahead. Dropped by Torres, but he picks it back up. Brings it into touch. Torres gets around a defender. Torres tries a shot, misses it high and wide. Wilson back there to keep it with Brookline. Just over 5 minutes to go here in the third. We are still tied at 3 apiece here in Weymouth. Wilson looking around. Pass out Tolkoff. Now up top to Toe. And over to Fish. Fish winds, fires, misses well wide. Wilson still back there to maintain. Coming across, no openings here as we are reconnected with the Wi-Fi. Don't worry, folks, we didn't miss anything. Torres gives to Fish. Now over to Tolkoff. Tolkoff trying to spin off his defender. Flips a short pass, got away from Fish. Chasing down the loose ball. It is picked up by Weymouth, by number 24, Owen Halpenny, who gets swarmed by defenders, and a whistle is blown. And I think it was a timeout called by Weymouth as Hal Penny was getting swarmed by Brookline players there. We got some more notes in our live chat here from Barbara E. Picorni, rooting for Brookline from East Haddam, Connecticut. Not as cool as Berlin, though. That's her words, not mine. I would say, you know, don't sell Connecticut short. Connecticut can be a fun place if you know where to go. From Judy Platt saying, "Let's go Brookline. Where in the world is Aunt Marlene? Keep it up, Cats." And then there's Aunt Marlene, Marlene Lyons, saying, "I am here now. Go Cats." Hope you guys are enjoying the live stream so far. 4:06 on the clock here in the third quarter. All tied up at 3 apiece. Nevin Roach scored the equalizer 50 seconds into the quarter, and since then the defenses have once again clamped down, and the offenses have again struggled to find the little looks they want. Is a game where every chance counts as Weymouth brings it up out of the timeout. This is McDonald. McDonald looking. Oh, was that? Did they call an illegal screen or a warding penalty? They called some kind of whatever violation they called on the offense there. It's Brookline ball. Oh, and they just called McDonald for a delay of game. I didn't see what happened. I was looking at my laptop screen there for a sec. But now Brookline, with McDonald serving the penalty, gets a chance on the man-up advantage. Huge chance for Brookline. Can they take advantage of it? David Kim throws it up to Torres. And up to Fish. Inside Carr. Shot stopped by O'Connell. Carr finally able to catch a pass through traffic in front of the net, but just couldn't get the shot past Dermot O'Connell. Fernandez with the ball for Weymouth. Long pass, connects. Connects there with Holbrook. Holbrook throws it up, finds his target. Shot is in. Desmond Wilkins gives Weymouth the lead here off the assist from Anthony Holbrook. Third quarter has been all Weymouth so far as they take back the lead 4-3. Diaz wins the faceoff, but his pass is blocked and intercepted by Weymouth. But a fancy underhand pass there attempted by Sonny Canova could not connect with Ronan Quill and bounces out of bounds. Carr bringing it up. Less than 3 minutes to go here in the third. Brookline playing from behind once again. Wilson. Pass out Torres. Quick shot, missed it wide. Tolkoff races back there to keep it with Brookline. Torres has gotten a couple of those looks just hovering around near the net on that right side, but everything has just bounced wide for him so far. Wilson. Long pass out to Fish. Fish throws it to the back to Wilson. Wilson throws it. Oh, it's taken away. I lost track of the ball there for a second, but it was taken away by Fernandez. Gets a long pass up, finds Owen Halpenny. Halpenny, a long pass up. Wilkins stopped somehow on the breakaway. Great save by Dylan Katz. Delaney trying to fight through defenders. It's knocked loose, picked up by Kim. Oh no, an injured Weymouth player down. It looks like he hurt his knee. The ball is knocked loose. And now it's going to be taken back by Holbrook. And a timeout is going to be called by Weymouth. Oh no, a non-contact knee injury for Aaron McDonald. And he comes off limping. Play continues. Brookline now has the ball. Jacob Fish throws it to the back to Ryan Wilson. Wilson out to Torres. Torres now approaching, trying to spin. Almost had an opening there, but help from Brainard walled him off. Wilson spins off of Brainard, coming around the back. Fighting, draws a flag. Loose ball picked up by Tolkoff. Delayed penalty will be coming Brookline's way as the ball is knocked away by the Weymouth defense. Now Brookline will have a chance here. You can see at the bottom of your screen around those black boxes that I've got down below that the athletic trainer taking a look at Aaron McDonald. It looked scary when it happened. Here's hoping it looked scarier than it was. You know, you never root for an injury no matter which team you're rooting for. Carr flips it. Extra pass, long shot is missed wide. Out of bounds, Manny Tolkoff on the attempt there off the pass from number 5, Jack Herman. Getting some playing time here late in the third. Just 40 seconds left in the quarter. Wilson, pass out to Tolkoff, misses. Carr on the pass there. That one gonna roll. Out of bounds, Weymouth ball. Another sloppy turnover on the exchange there for Brookline. And less than 30 seconds left in the quarter. Looks like Weymouth will have the last shot. And it looks like Aaron McDonald is okay. So it did look scarier than it was. McDonald, long shot, sails high. Out of bounds, going to stay with the Wildcats. 17 seconds. And the clock moved down to 10 seconds, but now the officials conferring over the time. This could be a big difference maker here in the closing seconds, as it will determine how much time Weymouth has to try and set up the last shot of the quarter. Oh my gosh, wait, it's Brookline ball. Brookline ball with 10 seconds. They called some kind of a violation. The clock's not even moving yet. No, they were trying to get it up to midfield to start the play. That's what they were saying. Like, okay, we got another official conference here. What did they call? Oh, I just heard they called too many men on the field on Weymouth. There might have been some confusion because they had a man serving the penalty there, and because they went from defense to offense, there might have been some confusion in the substitutions. James Carr running up. 5 seconds. He's got to shoot. And he just doesn't. He just holds it. That is going to end the third quarter. Our score at the end of 3, Weymouth 4, Brookline 3. 2 goals scored by the Wildcats in that period, 1 each from Nevin Roach and Desmond Wilkins. And now Weymouth has flipped the script on Brookline. During this break between the 3rd and 4th quarter, I'd like to once again thank our local sponsor, Esch Dental. Esch Dental, right in Coolidge Corner, does not just focus on smile rehabilitation. Their real passion is smile preservation. If you are ready for a local, sophisticated, sole ownership dental office to take care of your 6-month cleanings, don't look any further than Esch Dental. You can easily book online at eschdental.com or call 617-566-0103. Once again, that's 617-566-0103, or go online to eashdental.com. All that information in the description section down below as we now get ready for the 4th and final quarter of regulation here in this game. And this is why Brookline was smart. Because they held it in the midst of a penalty, they now get to start right away. And James Carr starts right away with a goal. James Carr said, I did my waiting at the end of the 3rd quarter. I'm not waiting here, and immediately ties the game with his 3rd goal of the day. As simple as it gets, just walked right up and fired the cannon. And just like that, it's a whole new ball game. 5 seconds into the 4th quarter. We've had 3 different quarters where a goal was scored inside the 1st minute, but that was the fastest. Weymouth chased down that loose ball, and they go on the attack. McDonald's pass juggled by Roach, trying to pick it up, and he does. Roach getting properly set at the top. Pass down low, shot blocked. Rebound recovered, pass back out, another shot bounced over the net. Dylan Katz was trying to lay out to get back there, but too many Weymouth players racing down for that one. And it is Weymouth ball. Roach with it at the top. Roach pass inside, turnaround, shot is in. An answer right back from Ronan Quill. They went inside, went for one of those tricky turnaround shots. And it worked out for him, and just like that, Weymouth retakes the lead. Such a low-scoring game this has been, and yet right there we have 2 goals within the 1st minute and 4 seconds, 1 from each side. Face-off won by Diaz. Diaz trying to spin off of several defenders, and he does, and a timeout now called by Brookline. All right, folks, I'm gonna just switch out my battery pack just to ensure I have enough battery life for the rest of the game. So the screen's gonna go black on you for a second, but it's gonna be okay. Just 1 second. All right, there we go. Fresh new battery in my camera. And we will definitely have enough battery life for the rest of this game. "10 minutes and 45 seconds, the clock reads here in the fourth and final quarter of regulation here between Brookline and Weymouth. And again, remember, both of these teams are fighting to get their first win of the year. So there's a lot riding on this one for both squads in what has been a nail-biter. As the sun goes down here at about 7:30 at night, we got Lacrosse under the lights here in Weymouth. Brookline, after calling that timeout, they get the ball. James Carr will start it off. Now here we go. Carr quickly brings it into touch. Now heading down the right side, throws a pass to the back to Wilson. Wilson, along the back, pass connects with Tolkoff. Up top to Fish. Now juggled a bit, but recovered by Torres. Torres approaching, knifing through, shoots, bounces too high. Wilson recovers, passes out to Tolkoff, who gets pressured immediately, has to pass out to Fish, who also gets pressured immediately. A flag thrown as Weymouth got too physical there. And now Brookline with a delayed penalty. They got some freedom to work with here. Wilson looking for a screen, comes out the back, spins again. No opening as the help arrived well. Throws it down to Tolkoff. Tolkoff jukes. Shot saved by O'Connell. Fast stick by Dermot O'Connell. Loose ball still being fought for. And it's lost out of bounds. And now the delayed penalty will come into effect against Weymouth. And it'll be Jacob Fernandez serving this penalty. Brookline needed a break between periods, but they did take advantage of the penalty the last time it was called on Weymouth. Carr throws it back to Tolkoff. Up top, Carr, shot, missed. Wilson, who I mistook for Carr because I was dumb for a second there, is back there to make sure Brookline maintains possession. Wilson out to Tolkoff. Shot is in! Manny Tolkoff ties it up. Tolkoff, you know, they've been having some trouble connecting on passes here and there when they've been rushing it, but this one, just a slow and simple one. Tolkoff with enough space, thanks to the penalty, to just catch and just wind and fire the low shot there. Got the bounce he wanted and got his first goal of the day. Ryan Wilson with his second assist. And we're all tied up at 5 apiece. 8:57 left here in the fourth quarter. False start called on Brookline on the faceoff. Or was it? No, it was called on Weymouth. Carr running up with it. Carr trying to fend off his defenders. Carr forced to back out. Throws it to the back. Wilson. Wilson gets bumped. Looking around. Pass out Tolkoff. Thought about the shot, but has to pass out. Missed Herman. Carr trying to recover it. And Carr gets shoved over, and I think that's going to get a penalty call there. You know, not enough of a penalty to serve the to give the man-up advantage, but enough to keep the ball with Brookline. Torres. Bring it down the left side. Around the back. Escapes his defender. Running with it. Draws some help. Passes back. Carr winds. Fires. Scores! James Carr with the cannon again. And he gives Brookline back the lead. It all started with the freshman Leo Torres creating some separation, drawing the help from the defense, able to throw it up to Carr, who had enough space to take the powerful shot he wanted, and he finishes there for his 4th goal of the day. So goal number 4 for Carr, assist number 1 for Leo Torres, as Jonathan Diaz wins the faceoff and runs it into the attack end. Diaz running around the back looking for a passing option. That one into traffic. And out of the scrum, Tolkov comes away with it. Tolkov runs it back in, long shot misses wide. Out of bounds, Brookline there to cover it. 6-5, the Brookline leads, 7:15 on the clock here in the 4th. Wilson floats it up to Tolkov. Brookline taking their time here as Herman gives it over to Fish. Fish sends it up there as they work along the right side. Pass along the back to Wilson. Wilson, long pass, misses Tolkov, but it's kicked up to Carr, whose shot is saved by Dermot O'Connell. Now Brainerd walking up with it for Weymouth as they're trying to answer back after Brookline takes the lead with 2 unanswered scores. Pass open, finds a wide open Halpenny. Halpenny running up with it. Pass miscommunicates with Wilkins, but he takes it off the bounce. Wilkins throws it back. Juking with it, stumbles a bit. Roach trying to find a spot to go, gives it to Daly. Nolan Daly off the screen, got a bit of an opening and he scores. Nolan Daly from the left side ties it up for Weymouth. And boy, these two teams going back and forth here in the 4th quarter. All tied up at 6 apiece. Neither team has ever led by more than 1 score today. What a tight game it has been as Diaz wins the faceoff and gets it up to Torres. Torres almost fought his way through, but has to pass to Wilson behind the net. Wilson trying to spin off Brainerd, lost the ball. Ball's knocked free. Holbrook chased it down in bounds. And a timeout called by Weymouth as Wilson was trying to force Holbrook out of bounds. So Weymouth will come out of the timeout with the ball with 5:17 left to play and a tie score at 6-6. We got some more notes in the live chat from Eileen Wilson. Go Brookline. Thanks for the broadcast, Jesse. From Jonathan Olson, keep fighting Warriors. And indeed, this is a fight that is coming down to the wire. And then we got one more in my email saying, Pops watching from Las Vegas loves the way Dylan Katz is playing. And he's going to need to keep playing well here as this one is coming down to the wire. Now out of the timeout, Weymouth deep in their own end, working in transition. O'Connell flips it over to the far side. Now a pass up, finds its target, and they work it into the attack end. McDonald with the ball. Throws it to the back. To, I believe, Wilkins. Bit harder to see the jersey numbers now that it's gotten much darker. Wilkins walking with it, looking for options. Passes back out. Roach with it. Couldn't get anywhere off the screen. Now running up with it is Daly. Daly shot saved by Katz. Oh, but a point-blank rebound chance. But there was a scrum for it. And Weymouth takes it back. And another point-blank stop by Dylan Katz. A chaotic play. And Dylan Katz stands tall twice on it. As a long pass is taken off a deflection by Ryan Wilson. He's bouncing off defenders. He tries a pass and it's blocked. And the loose ball again as bodies go flying for this loose ball. And it's picked up by the Wildcats. Roach running around with it. Being chased by Wilson. Turns around and passes it back to O'Connell. O'Connell, long pass. Knocked aside and picked up now by Katz after the deflection by number 29, Luke Wass. Now Brookline with a long pass, fighting for it on the ground. And a push in the back by Weymouth while they were still trying to gain possession. Foul on the Wildcats gives Brookline the ball. Just over 3 minutes left. Torres escapes his defender, charges in, shoots, and it bounces high and over and out of bounds. Wilson back there to keep it with Brookline. Wilson pass, Carr couldn't fit it in. O'Connell stops him. Now Fernandez, pass misses, bouncing ball, and it's a race to get it. And it's pushed away by Wasp, but picked up by Halpenny. Halpenny pass dropped by McDonald. More chaos on the loose ball. It's picked up by Roach. Roach escapes the defense. Pass up. Open chance. Okay, I hope we didn't miss that last goal with that brief Wi-Fi disconnect. That was rough timing there, but a goal from number 3, Chris Mullen. And I think it was Roach on the assist there. Off the face-off, Diaz wins it. Diaz had the ball knocked away, but the loose ball is picked up by David Kim, knocked loose again, knocked out. The officials conferring over who's getting the ball off this out of bounds. And we're going to have a timeout. The lead is 7-6 in favor of Weymouth, and I'm not sure. Did they signal whose ball it is? Okay. I wasn't sure, but I just double-checked. It is Brookline ball, and that is a huge difference maker as the Warriors are once again behind with 2 minutes and 15 seconds left to play. The last game I live streamed for this team was at home against Wilmington, and that turned into a thrilling overtime game off a last-second equalizer by Ryan Wilson. Of course, Brookline eventually fell in overtime to Wilmington. Fell at 7-6 is the score here. I'm getting confused. Brookline did lose to Wilmington in overtime in that game, and both of these teams have only known losses so far this season. Brookline 0-7, Weymouth 0-9. Both searching for their first win of the year here. Brookline will have the ball in a little over 2 minutes to try and find that equalizer goal. Can Brookline get it done? And if so, who will be the hero this time? Starting with the ball, it's Leo Torres. Torres walks down the left side into the corner. Looks like he's winding up for an approach. He is starting his approach. Torres turning around, looking for an option, passes it down to Wilson. Wilson back out to Torres. Torres approaching again. Still nothing. Pass back Wilson. Wilson throws it out to Tolkoff. Now up top to Fish, back to Tolkoff. Tolkoff setting up for an approach. Long shot is blocked. Rebound by Wilson. Trying to spin off Brainerd. Brainerd tangling him up well, but Wilson does barely escape. Pass back, misses. Loose ball chased down by Tolkoff, and Brookline resets. 1 minute left to play. Tolkoff looking around. Flips it over to Fish. Pass up to Torres. Actually, that's not Fish, that was Harsfield. Torres approaching, walled off, pass back, Wilson. Wilson looking, spinning, fighting through traffic, shoots, stopped by O'Connell. And O'Connell completes the outlet pass to Halpenny. Halpenny running with it, pushed, lost the ball out of bounds. Oh no, Ryan Wilson is coming off hurt, and he's hopping on 1 foot. Brookline managed to force Halpenny out of bounds, so they will get possession with 25 seconds left, but they're going to be without their co-captain. Carr spinning off defenders, escapes, running up with it. 15 seconds left. Torres with the ball. Torres looking, jump shot, sails high. Brookline there to keep it. 7 seconds left. Brookline has a chance for one potential final shot. Here we go, 7 seconds left. It's Tolkoff running with it. Shot missed, and that is your ball game. I said a team would have their first win at the end of this game, and that team is the Weymouth Wildcats. The final score, Weymouth 7, Brookline 6. Just tough there at the end for Brookline. They couldn't get that tying score in. Lost Ryan Wilson there in the closing seconds after he got tangled up with some defenders. Hopefully he is okay long term. But in the end, Brookline falls to 0-8, while Weymouth improves to 1-9. Final stats on the day for Weymouth: Nevin Roach, 1 goal, 2 assists. Aaron McDonald, 2 goals, and then 1 goal each from Chris Mullen, Ronan Quill, Nolan Daly, and Desmond Wilkins, and 1 assist from Anthony Holbrook. For Brookline, James Carr leading the way with 4 goals. Ryan Wilson, 1 goal, 2 assists. Manny Tolkoff, 1 goal, and Leo Torres with 1 assist. Well, that is going to do it out here for this live stream. Thank you again to our local sponsor, Esch Dental. The team at Esch Dental understands dental anxiety. Some patients just need a friendly face to put them at ease. Others need the help of additional gases or medications. Dr. Esch and his team can help you wherever you are on the journey to find a solution to manage your anxiety. Call 617-566-0103 or go online to eschdental.com to find out more and book your appointment. Once again, 617-566-0103 or go online to easchdental.com. Link and phone number in the description section down below, as well as the link to the official Venmo account of the Friends of Brookline Lacrosse Booster Club. And you can also find the link and phone number for our local charity spotlight, the Brookline Education Foundation. And you can also find some links related to me, which you can also see in the bottom right corner of your screen. My personal website, jessesports.com, where you can find out more about me, the freelance sports broadcasting services that I provide to various teams, and how you can commission those services for your favorite team. Or if you want to skip past all of that, you can email me directly with any questions, requests, or comments you may have. And don't forget to follow me on social media on Instagram and Facebook, where I post highlights from previous live streams. But for this live stream, that's going to do it. Final score, Weymouth 7, Brookline 6. From Weymouth High School in Weymouth, Massachusetts, I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan. Thank you all for watching, and have a good night.